Grow with your spiritual life
We invite you to join us
on our Family Table Talk every Saturday.
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
Or catch us on our Facebook page.
Bulavinaka, welcome to the Family Table Talk every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. Well, we have been blessed to have one of our special guests this morning, and her name is Liza Vulacoro, and I know no one's new to Liza. Everybody knows Liza. No, she is the best Wunde Queen. In even her car registration, it has V Queen. So I am just so blessed to have her with me here this morning, and we would like to greet you and welcome you all the way from my TV. This is actually the staff dining. We call it the Aotearoa dining staff because of the donation from a special couple all the way from New Zealand. And we would like to welcome the Tawaki family as well this morning, and thank you. Your investment in this little space that we call it the Aotearoa staff dining, not only it provides that space for our staff, but also a little studio for us on our Family Table Talk. So we have been enjoying this moment as we spend in here. And we would like to welcome everybody that are logging in outside Fiji. Thank you, because feedback received, there's quite a fair bit of people that listen into this program. And thank you for taking your time. Maybe some of you are still lazy. It's a Saturday morning. You're taking a time to reach your kitchen. You're watching us from your bed, either through the phone or the big screen already up and running, or some of you maybe have come back from the market, the early bird. And we would like to say welcome. And those of you that are outside Fiji, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Europe, America. And these are the few frequent ones. They always send in their text to say thank you for the show this morning. Thank you for everything shared, because we benefit all the way out here, wherever you people are. And Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Thank you for joining us this morning. And we would like to greet you once again. We can na barong tuk mena koro, tak tuk mena topai, o malaka na topai. Se saparaki, bambakau, kena dichu kana gamongo na panikeke momokite, and the other na panikeke momokite. Indo vachamo, that's really beautiful, and peanut butter. Well, that takes the icing at the top. So now I will have Liza to say greeting, and also if she can still remember her dialect, to speak in her dialect all the way to Yavata, and welcome our people in Yavata, and also to everybody else in Fiji. Liza?
Thank you very much, Randini, for having me this morning. I feel very honored to be on this show. Thank you so much. Bula binaka ke muni keda na barang otik may na besa viti, ke mdo may na koro, ndo sa bula binaka may Yavata. Unuita kani tosa binaka tiko na matakalale ni kuwa. Also greetings to everyone all over the world. Thank you so much for watching this show. I always watch this show too from home, but I'm so grateful and honored to be sitting here right now. Thank you so much, Randini Binaka.
Well, Liza and I, we go a long way back, and she was sort of like my mentor and my very best friend during school days. I was in my year 9. She was already in year 12. And she was my senior. So we walk together to school in the morning, walk back home in the afternoon, because in actual fact, how we met, our sisters are best friends. And they were very best friends. So we came to know each other through that friendship. And we developed that friendship years back. And it's something that we've always treasured. We went separate ways. I went to Jesus. She did her stuff. And it's amazing, because in the hotel that I was working in, I can hear Liza. Every turn I see you, it's either you singing in the Mecca Lounge out there in Regent, or you are everywhere that on the entertainment business. And for me, standing on the, just standing there watching you, I was blessed to have those moments that I could say that you were one of my friends, not only friends, my best friend at that time, that I look up to in so many ways, and little things that we share. And even for years that we hardly meet, or we don't meet at all. But when we do, it's amazing. We just pick up from where we left off. Yeah, and it's yes, and it's so hard to find friendship that way, So really blessed to have her. Well, the conditions of having her on the host and the cast this morning, that's another story. So that's like behind the scene. And how she came about to be on the show today, I was on my way home, and she came running in at about, nearly 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Trying to grab a meeting. And I said, Liza, I had my bag on, I have my grandchildren. I'm going home and I have other things to do and I'm rushing to another meeting. So we plan going down the stairs in my TV that today we're going to be having our meeting after this. So the condition of having that meeting was her to be here this morning. But amazing. This morning I woke up and I freaked out and I said, okay, Lisa lives all the way in Wyandandoy. What if either she comes late or she decided not to come today? Because she has stood me up a few times. So I text her, email her, Viber her, any mode of communication, I sent it to her. And she said, relax, I'm here. So, and here she is. And I'm so blessed with the friendship that we have. And I'm so grateful with the fact that you are so humble with everything that you have achieved. And for the personality you have in the entertainment business and the kind of person you are. I am really, really blessed to be part of your life. And yeah, like what I said, we go way back. And I would like Lisa to share a little bit, because this is Family Table Talk. And there's a lot of unspoken words, untold stories. And some of the things we don't want to even talk about today. It's sort of like you just wallow in and sort of like, fix it yourself. But this morning we want to talk about it. Well, Lisa, as you have heard, I remember she came into church once and she testified that she had cancer and how she survived that. And even today, I was telling her, how old are you, would be? I know it's a secret, but I want to know.
I'm 35.
You wish?
I'll be 63 this year.
Okay, see? She's 63, but look at her hair. Her hair is so healthy, and she's so beautiful. For 63 years, old, on how you look after yourself. Yes. So, if you can share with our viewers this morning, especially so for women, because I've had quite a fair bit of prayer requests on women on cancer. So it can be cancer in any other term. It can be breast cancer, cervical, any. But it's cancer. Yeah. And one thing that I've always shared that even in our church service, like, when you hear cancer, most women or most people, it's like a death sentence. It's like there's no other life apart from that. And there may be some of them listening in today that I would like you to share your story on how you can overcome it. And sometimes I ask, if I have my friends that are suffering from cancer, I will ask, do you have any dietary thing? Do you have any diet for cancer? And I hear, and they say, no, it's nothing. It's just a way that you look after yourself. And I've shared a bit on my sister-in-law who had breast cancer as well, with breast removed. And I've seen what it does. And being a survivor from Inyo on how you're going to manage. And she has only one son. So I've seen different scenarios of cancer from the church end, from the family, and just from a friend. And here you are sitting, and I've heard your stories on how you became the champion of that surviving. If you can share a little bit into that, two things I want you to share. One is the cancer, and second is just being a single mom, on how you have really survived. And you have a very handsome son. I know you bring him to every occasion that you can. And if I look at you two, it's more like you two are very best friends. It's like the very best companions that I can see. The way I see you talk to him, it's amazing, that relationship. I guess because there is nobody else around you, and he become like the focal point of your life in every sense of the word.
Yes,
so if you can share on those two things to our viewers that are listening to us today. And this program sort of like reached the ends of the earth, like everybody that are peeping in through either wireless platform or watching us in the Facebook, My TV Facebook, they're accessible to this program. So your sharing will mean so much to those women that are listening today, or even to the men, on the other side, because you can be speaking on what you're going through this side, but how would you like that situation to change a bit if only that decision was made by them? Well, all yours, Lisa.
Vinaka, thank you so much, Randini. Well, with me, when I got diagnosed with brain tumor way back in 2008, and my little son now, who's 15, he was only 3 months old. 3 months. When I was told, because I had a seizure in my sleep, and I didn't have any symptoms except just have the normal headaches I get when I don't get enough sleep. As you know, my nature of work is in the night, and then sometimes I get very little sleep, so I get headaches. And that morning, I was just lying in bed with him. He was just 3 months, and it just so happened that my house was full. My eldest son and his wife, who was also pregnant at the time, they were at home. my nephew with his wife, they were also at home, and the nanny. So it was like my house was full that day. You know how God works in mysterious
Yeah.
ways. And imagine if it's just the two of us
Yeah.
that day, because
Yeah.
my ex-husband was on a tour because he worked for the Olympics committee. I think he was in the Cook Islands. So on that particular day, there was all the people at my house. So they found me in the bout of fits, with my little son right next to me on the bed. So they called the ambulance, and I was rushed to Nabua Hospital. But knowing Nabua Hospital, the old one, they didn't even have anything to test the blood or anything. So from there, they rushed me back to Suva. And
CWM.
yeah, CWM. So I got diagnosed, and Dr. Taka was alive then. So I had the scan, and Dr. Mitchell, they all took a look at me for the few weeks, and they found that I had a tumor, which was very big, and it was sitting on the front part of my brain. Yeah, and that's what.
Like that moment when you hear that you have that.
Yeah, when they
How
told
can
me.
you describe that? feeling?
Actually, I kind of didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I said, no, this is the things that happen only to other people.
Yeah.
It can't be happening to me. My first reaction. And then after a while, it sunk in. No, it is happening to me. I've got to deal with it. So I was blessed to have my ex-husband who was very nice and loving and
Supportive.
very caring
Yeah.
and supportive. And I said, I have a small son, and what am I going to do? So they said, you have to have an operation right away. And it just so happened I was in the process of getting our visas to go to Australia, to go and visit my ex-husband's mom, who has never seen him. He's the only first grandson. My ex-husband had four daughters from previous marriages. So we went to Australia. Still, we went to Australia, and she had arranged her doctor, my mother-in-law, arranged her doctor to take care of me and neurosurgeon in Australia. So when I met the doctor, she said how everything was arranged for me, and with God's help, nobody else. I knew it was God's doing. So when I went to the doctor, she said, Lisa, you in Australia, I will be your doctor. You don't have to pay me anything.
Oh, amazing.
Because I am not a citizen, I'm not entitled to help from the government. So anyway, so that's what happened. And then we went to the neurosurgeon. He took care of us and had another MRI scan. And he looked at it and he said, Lisa, this thing is very big. I have to operate on you next week, right away. So I said, okay. So, and then we set up the days leading up to my operation. He said to me, Lisa, this operation, I want to tell you before I operate on you, you have a 50-50 chance of surviving.
How do you feel at the
I
moment?
look at him. I just said, Doctor, death is not an option.
I like that.
I thank God for the faith.
Faith.
I think it's my upbringing, growing up at home, my father and mother. My father was a lay preacher, Wakatawayado,
Yeah.
in the village, and he was a choir master. Everyone sang in church. And so
Yeah.
it was the upbringing that
Yeah.
instilled that faith right from that age.
But it's
until
amazing you're sharing that, because at that moment, that's a moment that is faced by many women or men who suffer from cancer. That no money, no wealth, nothing else, can be there for you to have faith that you can pull through, other than trusting in God.
I trusted in God. We didn't have money. My ex-husband was worrying. He was going, Lisa, oh my goodness, we don't have any money. I have to take a loan. I said, don't worry. God will provide. My words to you. God will provide. Let's just go. Let's just go. So it happened then when we were there, and I had so much faith that this thing is not going to take me. I said to the
Yeah.
doctor, I have a 3-month-old son. He gave me this child at 47 and a half. He's not going to take my life now. I need to take care of him.
Oh, I like that.
I need to carry him. He's still crawling,
Yeah.
So he looked at me and he said, okay. So my ex-husband was worrying. I didn't even worry one bit. So when we were there, and before the operation, my ex-husband's boss called and said to him, not to worry, the Olympic Committee Islands, they are going to pay for Lisa's operation. Because when he used to travel, like to Solomons, to Tonga, to Cook Islands, I used to travel with him. And then all the bodies would say, the sporting bodies, can Lisa come and sing? We're doing a fundraiser for the netball or for the rugby, for soccer, and all the different islands. My husband said, yes, she can sing, and she'll sing for free, don't worry, just pay her airfare.
Aww.
So I was doing that to most of the island countries.
But also your seeds.
Yes, so those island countries got together and paid for my operation. Yeah, so I've been very blessed to have that.
Yeah.
And I always feel for the other women, especially, who don't have that
support,
the visibility, the voice that I have, like in speaking out a lot, and and the associations I have kept over the years that enables to help me in everything I do.
But for that process, how long was it, like for you to really come out of it, your cancer?
Well, he told me, Lisa, after this operation, you will be good. I'll remove it. After 1 year, you should regain everything. So I think I regained most of the things after 9 months. Yeah, and
you shared a bit like after after that operation.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn a lot of things again.
He told me I lose my confidence, I will lose a lot of my short-term memories, which I did. I couldn't remember names. I couldn't remember how to sing. I couldn't even remember that, and I couldn't write because I'm a composer. So those things are very important and very dear to me. So I had lost all those abilities and confidence to get on stage and sing. The first time I went back on stage, I was like, I couldn't even remember my lyrics, so I just had to get off the stage. And I was very lacking in confidence. So I told myself, this is not gonna stay here. I'm going to make sure that I fight and regain, restore.
Yeah.
So I went to Master Ete at University of the South Pacific, Calvin Rore, Alan Alo, late Alan Alo now, and Master Damiano Longaivao. So all these people helped me to regain. They put me in a show, like a musical, and I was like the Bumbu in the musical, and I had to remember my lines because it was a live show at the Civic Center.
So it was slowly building up your confidence.
All these things helped build my confidence, regain my memory, because I had to train myself to remember my lines. So I started remembering to sing. So they took me in the studio, especially Kelvin and Damiano. They took me in the studio, they tell me sing, and Master Ete. I sat in his class with all his students, and I learned music. So, and they think, wow, Lisa Vulakoro is sitting with us and learning. And they were saying, oh, she's so humble. They had no idea what I was going through. I didn't tell anyone. Yeah, I said, only I knew. I had to learn so that I can regain. So right now, I have regained everything I think and more. I always joke to people, I think I've got more clever after the operation.
More irritatingly clever.
Too clever for your own good.
But it's amazing, the one thing that you're sharing today, it's taking that step, What makes the difference in everything that happened in your life was you taking that step to say, I'm going to learn again, and I couldn't care less what other people say. I'm going to go back into that classroom. I mean, to think that you had an experience, you have all those things, it's like at the tip of your fingers. It's always there. But to go back and relearn, that is a big step up.
Yes.
And I think, to those of you women that are listening today, don't fear the element of going back, Don't worry about what other people say. It's you on how you're going to survive.
I think one good thing, like for me, I've never ever worried about what other people think of me.
Yeah,
I've
see
always.
that. I mean, you've always done that from school. Yeah.
I've always, whatever I want to do, I'll do it. It's like when I was growing up in the village, and every kid was. I always tell these stories. what do you want to be when you grow up at school? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. All my cousins in Yadata, in the primary school. And Lisa, I want to be a star. Huh? What's that? I want to be a star. I'm going there. The star there. You know, so that was always what I wanted to do. I want to be a singer and become a star.
Oh,
so my
amazing.
father, the first time he heard me say that, nada ba ya? Tu na be ko na star, daw lang star, nada na star. And my father couldn't speak English, so he didn't understand. Senga lubengu. Iko nangone buku tondo na korongo. Elewa buku iko mole lawyer daka baka patentu. Senga una star una daka baka stere. My father was very disappointed when I went to the
Was he
region.
still alive when you reached
Oh yes.
like the entertainment?
I remember when you remember when we were together at the region.
Yeah.
I used to bring my parents.
Oh,
Or you might
okay.
have left. I think you went
Yeah.
to Air Pacific
Yeah.
that time. Ik zal even fancy sar Air Pacific.
This is just Lisa. Because I remember when she was coming to school, and Lisa, when she comes to school, it's like all the little starts earring here, and the biggest go earring over here. This is going to school. And for all us girls, we have belts right over here. Lisa have the belt right just above her waist down here. And she wears all the bangles. So when we come to the school gate, then she'll take all those things off, pack it
Put
in
in
her
the
bag.
bag.
And sometimes she get the telling off right then. You think the child can know. Next day, Lisa wear the whole works again. So as soon as we go out of the gate, Lisa put the whole thing back again. So you're still, I mean, because that's built in you.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't care less. I mean, that was the teacher telling you off. Like you care? No. So when you have that kind of attitude, it helps. Whatever that
helps.
you face in life,
Yes.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, this is my battle. I'll fight it. And I couldn't care less what other people think of me or what they say. What matters is how I'm going to survive.
I always tell people, with my career in the music industry and in the public eye, if I had worried about what other people say
Yeah.
about me, I'd be already dead. I'd be dead already by all the, crossing coming my way. I'm just bouncing off like this,
You know what? I was surprised why you didn't stand for the election this year. You will make a very good parliamentarian.
I was asked by a few
Because
parties.
you can represent a lot of common people. I see your reach is right down to the grassroots
Yes.
and even to the highest of people.
Yes.
It doesn't change you. And I've known you. You have such a big heart that sometimes you forget that you forget about yourself. Like you forget that you are alive and you're so concerned about other people. That is just a natural
Yes,
way you
it's
are.
natural, yeah.
And I don't know where that comes from, but you would
Yeah.
make a very good one.
Thank you. But
So think about it for the next
I was
election.
asked by a few parties.
Okay.
Every election I've been asked, but
What was your drawback?
I am not ready because I still have my teenage son to take care of. To me, that's my priority. And now I have 5 grandchildren as well at home.
So how many grandchildren do you have?
I have 6. I think you have more than me.
I have 7. I beat you.
Wow.
But it's amazing. It's such a
Yeah.
good feel when you
Oh,
have
yes,
them.
yes.
Yeah.
I love my grandkids. And I think we're very blessed to be still healthy and,
Yeah.
and alive to
Yeah.
enjoy our grandchildren.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I always tell everybody, I'm a grandmother, but I'm a young mother still. Because my son is still 15. And my
There
eldest
she
grandson
goes.
is 14. So they are 6 months apart.
6 months apart. Her son and her
Eldest-
grandson.
eldest
grandson. Yeah, that's amazing. But it's a journey, you
It's
know?
a journey,
It's a journey. And thank you for coming in this morning because we believe, regardless of the kind of life that you face, it's not the end of it, you know?
No.
You may make some wrong decisions in your life, but it doesn't mean it has to take away your joy for the rest of your life.
No.
You know, the remaining days of your life. And if you're listening to us today, klasa nang wana kenda badala kata ka sona ka ngai sona ngona ba ka enda rawa ta kana nonda ding dingi kena kanda da ka and then bakanda senga di bo soti kenda rawa na kanda badala kata ka and right throughout your days of living you are living days of regret like your thoughts every day is you are trying to tell yourself how can I do this I shouldn't have done this I could have I should have. Stop thinking that way. Look at what you're going through, what you have. Embrace it. Just
Yes.
embrace it. Stand up, and that's just who you are. And just be yourself. You don't need to compare yourself to anybody. You know what? When you look at somebody and you say that you lack, because you are comparing yourself to somebody
Yes,
else.
that's right.
Because that person's achievement, you're beginning to think, okay, that person is like that. I lack. Oh, that woman has got a husband. I don't have a husband. So indirectly, you're thinking, I lack. don't think of your lack. You celebrate whatever that you have there with you. If you don't have a husband, like what Lisa has shared with us this morning, being a single mom, it's amazing how she had come through. Being a single mom and to go through that right towards, like 40s, and then she got married. Well, with her, that saying came to life. Life begins at 40.
That's right.
And so when you have that, don't ever feel that you're missing out on anything. You need to stand up and say to yourself, no, I have the right to be happy. I have the right to make things work. Yes, I made mistakes, but I'm not going to allow the mistakes that I make to define me for the rest of my life. I'm going to make something for myself. So stand up, look out, be positive in your thinking, and that is why I always like chatting with her. Regardless, I never even know that she had cancer, not until she shared with me. And I pulled her to come and share with us in church, which she did at the Career Stand years back. And because I'm always humbled with her story, with being a single mom, and to reach where you are, it's just amazing. It's a journey in itself. And I've always shared a bit, and I know whether you've heard it, I've always shared about relationship. Like I'm married, I've got 7 grandchildren, I've got 4 children, and I've always told my husband, okay, if anything else happens, so we made a deal. We made a deal. If anything happened to either one of us, you don't get married, I will not get married. So it's like a lifetime deal for us. But when I hear her, it's sort of like, okay. And she's, on the other hand, she will be sharing, she'll be telling me, I always tell my ex-husband, if no one is willing to look after you and you're aging and no one is there to look after you, you can come back to Lisa. Lisa can look after you. And I said, all right. Okay, can you share that?
I tell all my exes that. Yeah, so.
But it's amazing. It's just the heart you have.
Yeah, I mean, in relationships,
Yeah.
For me, relationships last a lifetime. It's not just because something bad happened to you and you got a divorce.
Yes.
That's the end. We have a son together. So I told him, if you ever need me, I'll be here. Just come home. I'll take care of you.
I mean, it's amazing.
And I mean that. I really mean that.
I go to church. I'm a Randini, like you addressed me. But I don't think I have that heart. I have that heart that you have, It's amazing. And I believe that's how you get so blessed in your walk. Because of the condition that you've created and having the heart that you have. And like your husband, you were what number? Wife, and now he's on which number?
I'm number 3.
And now
I
he's
was
on
number
to
3. Now he's with
number 4.
Number 4, number 5, and I don't know now. I lost track.
Why?
But he's a good man.
Yeah.
He's a good man. He's a bit lost, I think, because so many circumstances that surrounds his situations.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't know how to deal with things, and I always think that in time he will come right. But he's still a good father. He still talks to my son.
Yeah, and doesn't take away the fact that he's the father to your child.
Yes. And I'd like to share too with my eldest son, who is Justin, who is now 40. He's in Australia working.
That's the one with 4 children.
Yeah, the one 5.
5 children.
The 5 children with me. Yeah. So he's in Australia. He's gone with the NAC
program. Yeah.
So I'm so grateful for that. Anyway, so his father just recently passed away in February. So my son was his eldest child, and we were together. We were not married because we were very young, in our 20s.
Yeah.
He's 40 now. So, and he got married to Susie, and they have 3 children. So in his late life, he had Parkinson's disease, which I think it's a very hard disease to have, and it's very, very hard to cure. So one week he came home. His eldest daughter brought him home. He was very sick. They don't have any emotional expressions when you have that disease. So he was sick for many years. And one weekend they brought him home, and he stayed with us. So I took care of him.
Here in Silva?
In Wenendoi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Justin, my eldest son, and his wife and kids had moved home. So they decided to come home. I said, anytime you just come home, tell your father to come. Bring him.
Yeah, amazing.
So he stayed with us, and I took care of him. And then the time that they said, the eldest daughter said, Daddy, we have to go back home. No, why do we have to go? I want to stay. So, I said to him, Chris, I still love you. You're the father of my eldest son. And if you ever need me, you want to stay here, this is your home. You stay, I'll take care of you. And I really meant that, So he didn't want to go. They had to really kind of force him to go back to Nandi. Yeah, so I think sometimes with us women, our husbands probably do some things bad to us. It's forgiveness. Forgiveness is the greatest emotion, way, for your own healing.
Yeah.
Your own healing. You need to forgive first. If you try to heal in any way,
Without
whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, if you don't have forgiveness in your heart, you'll never heal. You'll never heal. I am healed because of my forgiving heart, And to forgive first, and then you can love, I really believe that. If you don't forgive, you talk about love anywhere in the church or what, if your heart is not forgiving, there's no love.
Believe that.
There is no love. I really believe that. So for me, for all these things that's happened in my life and what I've gone through, divorce, being a single mother, it's just made me stronger. Sometimes I used to think when my ex-husband left and I used to drive back home.
And you drive all the way to Wynandoy?
Drive all the way back to Wynandoy, and I used to think my son was still at Kindy, and I'm thinking, oh man, how am I going to survive today? I used to pray, I drive home, put the music up, cry all the way home.
I do that.
And then when I get there and I finish the crying, nobody should see me crying here. So that's how I dealt with it. Everyone deals with it differently, but I think we should not be ashamed of our emotions, how we can express whatever emotions come, you should express it, Cry, you can cry,
It's amazing how she's sharing it, because I do that, yeah. And sometimes when you at the traffic light, and I mean that only happens to me when I'm on my own in the car, which I look forward to. And you're crying your heart out and you're sobbing, and then the car next to you sort of like look at you and say, right, you get this kind of look. But in those moments, I really can relate to what you're sharing this morning, because regardless, I mean, she's a single mom, a survivor of cancer, and everything that she has to go through, and her need is just the same as those that have normal families. Husband and wife, you still have your moments that you just want to, call out to somebody to help you. Some of the things, like at least, Lisa, for us that have partners, we can have somebody to talk to in the physical lessons. But for being a single mom, you just have to be like...
Only talk to God.
Yeah, that's just amazing.
Yeah, but you know very well, whatever your burdens are, you should just take it to God, because that's what I do. I mean, people judge me all the time. I'm used to it. I've been judged, and I, even on Facebook when I post things, and some people say bad things to me, which is very few. Most people say nice things, but only few people. But that's it. You can't control that.
Yeah.
But you can control how you feel about it and how you deal with it. So I always say, only God can judge me. You can't judge me, and I don't judge you, don't judge me. I let God to be the judge.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to all these things, say, why are you playing jazz on Sundays, I said, it's my work. It's my work. It's the same thing, the chef is cooking for the tourists. He's working on a Sunday.
Yeah.
He's feeding them. I'm feeding my family by singing jazz on a Sunday at a hotel, and that's my job, So I said, don't judge me, I don't judge you. Let God be my judge. So
it's amazing to come out